You are now listening to the Serious Growth Podcast with your host, Leo Costa Jr.
I'm going to put some weight on because I'm hitting my legs harder.
Yeah.
And that may be going to add about 2-3 pounds in about 6-7 months. So I try to do my arm because tomorrow is my birthday to have a 19-inch. But, you know, I hope you don't see somebody sending me pictures on screen. Can you see the pictures now?
I don't know. No, we can't.
Okay, good. Because this woman sending me picture, and you know,
Oh,
I know how to walk.
No, we can't. Are you getting stalked? She's seen how big and beautiful your body is. She's stalking you.
Well, the thing, you know, they see my picture when I was 50 years old, and they think it's happening right now because I'm 68 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, happy birthday for tomorrow in case I don't call you.
Oh, thanks. My son's birthday today, so we're gonna have we're gonna take each other out for lunch.
Well, I think what you should do, especially since you're really close to your buddy Newsom, you should get like 40 people and go out to lunch over at that place, that restaurant that he went to. What's it called? The French Press or French something? The most expensive restaurant in, I think, of all of California.
Yeah. Well, too bad that they closing down small businesses.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a club, a place you work out is you have a less chance or lower chances to have run into somebody sick.
Exactly.
And I go to the grocery store and I see people walking in with the walkers.
Yeah.
You can tell them they have some illness. They should put a sign that anybody with underlying problems, biz, should not be allowed to go to these places. However, the government should deliver to them whoever they need salads, or probably they don't buy salads, they buy hot dogs and donuts. But anyway, they could just deliver this and don't charge for the delivery because the government has all this stimulants money.
Yeah.
And it's sending to inmates.
Yeah.
You know, that row, send them to, you know, take care of these old peoples and people with all kind of illness.
Seriously. That was my...
Healthy people go out, enjoy life, and anybody with disease, still go out on your front yard.
Yeah.
Because you need fresh air. But don't go mess around and blend with the healthy people.
You know, right when this thing first happened, Emeric, because I have a small studio, and maybe we talked on the first show. By the way, welcome back to Serious Growth again. You're one of my favorite people. I'm interviewing people now that I just are one of my favorites, and you were definitely one of my favorites. And I personally think, and I'm being very serious about this as I've gotten to know you even more, we have talked a lot now because you've sold a product called Age Defense to me. And I have to tell you, I think you're a damn genius. And I mean that because, you know, as a bodybuilder, I'm a meathead. I've tried everything in 38 years. As you well know, we try everything. Our bodies are the lab experiment. We know when shit's working and when it's not. And the stuff that you've turned me on to is unbelievable. But before I get into that, I wanted to talk about when this first went down in March, I came out and I said, I think this is a mistake because of just what you said. People that go to the gym are healthy. You're going to be around other healthy people. And you're going to build your immune system. And you're going to take stress off your body. Why the fuck would you close those down?
Yeah, and that's a place you learn healthy lifestyle. Also, if you see somebody out of shape coming to the gym, he made up his mind, I want to get in shape.
Yeah.
So I think already they checking into it, have a healthier diet, eliminate junk food. So they are already on a right pathway.
Yeah. You know, we both know that it's amazing what people will do for power and money. And that's what's going on. End of story. That's just the way it is.
I was really happy seeing that, you know, I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm a small business owner and I'm anti-communist.
Yeah.
And I was feeling really that in the past 4 years, the Republican Party sort of, not all of them, but sort of turned around and became small business party.
Right.
People's party.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening, and very diversified based on this year. I mean, you can see it. how the election went. Very diversified group of people. And it's really changed, just like the other side's changed quite a bit. It's not the same party it was years ago, by far.
Yeah. And,
that's just the way it is.
It's just still, I watch sometimes news, not all the time, or listen to radio, political stations, but nobody, the big scientists, experts, they don't give us the most important message. Your immune system is better than any vaccine.
There you go.
They should focus on clean your diet, exercise.
Yes, sir.
If you have a little finance problem, don't let the doctor put you on Prozac immediately.
Right.
The problem is financially stressed out.
Yeah.
So, so especially now the restaurant, small business closed down, they go through stress because they have no money to pay the rent.
Brutal.
Etc. So that, you can just put a Band-Aid on, I could give him an antidepressant, give him money or give him the job back so they're able to earn the money. So now, again, people, they make the money and they start being happy.
Yeah, exactly. It's hopefully this is over sooner than later. We've been saying it's now for about 10 or 11 months, I guess, but I hope this has to go away at some point. It will, but how much destruction is there going to be? It will be what's going to be pretty remarkable at the end of the day, I think. All right, let's take a quick break so I can tell you about our product.
Do you want a bone-crushing grip? Good, because you're gonna get one with the amazing new Trs Gripper. It's a progressive grip builder with longer handles and a special ergonomic design that's like a dozen hand grippers in one. Start off easy and work your way up to quickly build your grip strength from wet noodle to pulverizing. The package includes a video from the world-famous strength coach, Dr. Russ Horine, the man who worked with Leo Costa to help bring you big beyond belief in the Bulgarian Power Burst. Dr. Horine shows you a simple and easy to follow workout plan that takes just minutes a day right from in front of your TV set if you want. So click on the link below and let's get started building you a stronger, firmer, bone-crushing grip.
Anyway, so we'll leave. That's our political stance today. I want to talk about your genius and your product. This is age defense. Now, I want you to know, and for the people that are out there, I'm skeptical of everything because of what I've been through as a bodybuilder. And I have to tell you, when you told me about this age defense, I want to believe you because I can tell by talking to you, you're not somebody who's hyping anything. You're plainly laying out facts, and you know what you're talking about. And I got to tell you something. I'm going to let you talk after this, but I can tell you, taking that age defense, when I had my strokes, what I did is I started taking IV therapy, IV injections, because it took out the inflammation, heavy metals, blah, blah, blah. And I've said it before on some posts I've done. Age defense feels very much like an IV, the IV injections that I took. I feel it daily. It hasn't changed. I've been on it now for a few months now, and I take it every day. And this product is more than the real deal. And I'll let you take it from here.
Okay. So, what been misunderstanding, because, I started this promoting fitness and bodybuilding industry, and, what most bodybuilders say, it's illegal, it doesn't work. That's the first thing. So I was explaining that our body, mammals, in humans and animals, our body needs hormones and growth factors, but growth factors are the nutritional building block to support the human biological system to repair, regenerate. Okay, so these growth factors must be in the perfect or closest possible to the normal range, because these growth factors can cause also tumors and other disease if it's too high. Okay, now it's too low. So you have to have them right between, and these growth factors can be diminished with not just aging, the lifestyle you're living, the toxins. Now we expose daily to too much radiation. Even just me talking to you on the phone, I'm getting a little radiation from my phone. Mm-hmm. So we almost became like a walking microwave, you know.
Yeah.
So that can affect too. So now, if you're able to take naturally something orally, would be supply the needed missing or low level growth factors, and something regulates, because the regulation happens because these growth factors, they have a network, they have communication, you know. So something, for example, like a bacteria or something attacks your body, a signal goes out, and you know, the messenger gonna give a signal that, hey guys, I'm having something attacking me, I need your help. So these growth factors, they get together like an army and to fight the invaders. Now, like I said, we have 23 viral growth vectors, so I would try to put this together. Then we have an army. Then we have the Navy SEAL, the infantry, the Air Force, etc. So you have everything weapons to fight something. You have it. Now, if some of these growth factors are not in good range, it's like you go in a war, but you don't have the Navy and you don't have Air Force, etc. to support, so you have less chances to win. Right. So when you have this growth factor together, you have the entire army behind to keep and repair or get rid of whoever start to attack you.
Okay, now when we talk about growth factors, when we talk about growth factors, for the people that are watching this, a growth factor, and again, I'm going to tell you what I think it is, and then you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, or maybe expand on that. But a growth factor is basically a peptide. It's a protein. It's an amino acid, basically. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. It's a molecules, all like amino acid molecules, and when you take it orally, see, that's why some scientists and medic doctors, they on this field, they were telling me that there's no way this work orally, because anything amino acid molecule like protein, we have an enzyme breaks them down. So when you take orally something like even protein powders, you don't know how much gets assimilated because the enzyme has a lot of work to break it down.
Yeah.
So now when you take 100 milligrams, this extract, it has all these growth factors. If the pepsin enzyme breaks them down, so then you may have only a little fraction, assuming fraction goes in, which wouldn't do work. However, this oral natural growth factors also has a anti-pepsin. So what does it? Blocks the pepsin enzyme to recognize, to do anything to this little tiny molecule peptides. You know, these growth factors are really tiny molecules, you know. So, and it's already on, we spoke on a previous show about the pinocytosis. Anything goes to in the bloodstream has to be in the pinocytosis stage. So this is already on the stage, and you have a protection. The pepsin doesn't try to come break them down.
So what you're saying is basically that that molecule is encapsulated, or it's surrounded by something that's protecting it as it's going through the gastral system. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, to the digestive system. So normally you eat a protein powder or any source of protein, this all gets break down by enzymes. So this goes intact in beautifully. You know, it's like you have a airplane and the radar doesn't detect it.
Right. Okay, so it gets into your bloodstream then. Okay, so once it's in the bloodstream, is this when because I know the receptor sites play a big role in this thing. Once it's in the bloodstream like that, now I know that at some point it's going to go through the bloodstream. It's going to end up at the RNA and DNA. But when do the receptor sites attach to these growth factors? Is it when they're in the bloodstream?
Well, they recognize. So like I said, it's its entire network. And the science in about 20 years is going to be knowing much more how this happened. So it's one scientist assumed, no, it works this way, not the other way. But the bottom line, they all agreed, we cannot exactly finger point exactly, but the bottom, it works. Because, it works in a situation where you cannot use the placebo effect like on pets, you know. You give to a cat or dog, as long as we see what's regeneration, because the cat or dog eats something, tastes good. If you tell them, hey, this is going to help your joint, it's not, you feel that it's not like a placebo effect. So the receptors are recognizing, but the messaging RNAs, all this, like I told you, the cell communication.
Yeah.
They get a message that, hey, listen, you get this growth factor now, so take him and you can repair.
Yeah.
And then, for example, you have good level of IGF-1, the body would not take anything because it has already what he needs. Now, synthetically, it's totally different. So anything you do synthetically, you have to monitor because it can go out of range.
Yeah.
You go down range. Now, if you take injectable IGF-1 and you take this extract, somebody will say, oh, I'm going to inject so much growth hormone, and I take this age defense product, and I'm going to let my IGF go out and level. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Because that synthetic IGF-1 is not part of a network. Like you have a union job, and you have a construction site, and we are all your workers in the union. So one guy walks in the street and looks around and goes, the guy who owns the land and hired the union to build the building, he goes, hey, listen, how much they charge you to put that chimney on? And I said, I don't give him a high price. I said, you know what? I will do it for less. So he tells to the union foreman, then, leave the chimney alone. I have this guy. So this guy started building a chimney and doing everything wrong, but the union foreman doesn't get involved. He said, it's not part of my union. So I'm just trying to explain to people listening, it's if you get to medical, I wouldn't understand. So this is a simple way to understand.
Yeah.
And it's like a union, it's a network. You have a foreman, you have the plumber, you have the carpenter, so you have all the workers and the material to repair.
Right.
So you don't have the workers, then you have the material.
Right. So the natural versus synthetic is like an apple and an orange. They don't belong together. They're not the same thing. They're very different that way.
Exactly.
I mean, there's still that type of product, but that distinction between synthetic versus natural is the deal breaker, correct?
Exactly. Also, when something is creating in nature, because all life beginnings from an egg. Okay, so now it's something in the nature creating a life, and where you must have nerves, you have a vascular system, etc. So we have something is create a life, and you want to create that each growth factors, everything separated synthetically and put together something when an embryo development, it's almost impossible. Because, the scientists know quite much how life's creating, I'm talking about a chicken embryo, but still they're far away to discover other stuff. For example, the microanalysis, they was just to fully understand only 2010, and anything we know now, maybe in about 10 years going to be old, they're going to find out more other stuff.
Sure.
So it's just very interesting, and I'm so into this life creation and how we get older, and when we get older is getting problems, and the problem can be shown because these growth factors are diminishing. Because hormone, you can do hormone replacement. You can manipulate your testosterone level.
Right.
You can just mimic whoever you normally a healthy adult male testicles will produce daily. You can just mimic that little doses and you will be fine.
Right.
I'm talking about bodybuilders.
Right.
Now, but the growth factors, for example, nerve growth factors are very important in the regeneration of neurons. So when you saw old people getting dementia, is the reason because the neurons is diminishing less and less, and it's not enough nerve growth to produce the neurons.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that you talked about with me, and I'd like you to maybe, you're touching on it right now, but explain it a little bit more in detail if you can, is you're saying that one of the magical things about this product is it has to be a chicken embryo. And is that chicken embryo, is it fermented or is it fertilized? How does that work to really make it so powerful?
So first is an egg to create an embryo must be fertilized. That means the hen has to make love with the rooster.
Yeah.
So once they get fertilized, then we'll be able to start, put them in incubation and start developing the embryos. Now, if an egg is not fertilized, it's not going to happen. And also, what I learned, that they're using very young hens for collecting the eggs, because you know how the hens, they have an egg cycle.
Yes.
Looks like this young hens called also poulets. I think that's a French Latin. Poulets, that means very young hens, they start laying eggs. And it looks like once they get to the half cycle, egg laying cycles, after that, not every single egg start developing embryo,
Yeah.
So that's why they're using very young hens laying eggs, and these embryos are not developed yet. We know that it's not older than 9 days. So how old is exactly, we don't know exactly. It could be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or whatever. But if after 10 days, when you have already the vascular system developed, then supposedly you don't have access anymore for the tyrosine beta 4 peptide, which are responsible to develop the vascular system in mammals. So the tyrosine beta 4 is, of course, it's very important for people suffering with heart problems.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Well, here's what I've felt when I take this product. First of all, I have to tell you, one of the things, as you get older, stupid stuff starts happening, like skin. You get itchy skin. They call it the senior itch. And itchy skin. I've had eczema now. It just popped up, a few years ago, maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago. And it popped up, which is weird. But I'm going to tell you something. I tried everything, every cream that was out there that I could get my hands on, anything. Because I'm like you. I study, and I'm always trying to learn new stuff, because things are changing like this product. It's a work in progress, and that just changes a constant, and it certainly is in our industry, But I want to tell you something, and this is legit. I tried every cream that you could possibly try until I took Age Defense. My eczema went away. So that tells me that this product is doing exactly what you're talking about, is taking my body back to homeostasis, and it's regenerating whatever I was lacking, correct?
Correct, and also it has epidermal growth factor 2, which is important for the skin.
Yeah.
And it has epidermal growth factor, and also we have, like I said, it's the stem cells are there also, and our own adult stem cells to go repair, like you said, psoriasis and skin problems.
Yeah.
The stem cells, our body make has to differentiate to go do whatever need to be done. So the fibrous growth factor 6 helps the stem cells differentiate and go help the skin, wounds, scars, and eczema or rosacea. Or whatever.
Legitimate. And I keep thinking that it's going to come back, and I've been on, like I said, for 3 months. It has not come back, and it's just it's amazing.
That's what I did. I have Age Defense orally, the capsules. Then I have Age Defense topical with the cream. Now, what's really amazing about this cream? I have some men, they buying it, and they're not that old. And I said, "You're not that old. Why are you buying it?" I said, "Well," I said, "I'm using on my hemorrhoids." I said, "What?" So I had to, because it has it reduces itching and also inflammation,
Yeah.
So it's and that shows the variety of these growth factors that are involved in every single repair in your body, from hair down to your toe.
Yeah.
Now, whoever you have, growth factors are the one have your cellular level health function normal. But it has to be everything together, like explained, like an army.
Yeah, it's got to work in harmony, in other words.
Harmony. And once, like I said, what's good about this, you cannot overdose, and it's no side effect.
I can vouch for that.
Because only one thing, your body is not going to take something and add to something you have already good range. It's no way.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to do it.
It's fascinating because it's doing it automatically for you in your body. It's regulating, deregulating, upregulating the whole time. It's constantly in flux, making your body better, really, basically.
Now the other product I send you, that kilo,
yeah,
that has what the growth cell, but also has the rest of the egg with the amniotic fluid in also. Now, so when you take that scoop I gave you,
yeah,
that equal about maybe like 10 eggs, something like that.
Yeah.
So and it's very rich in follistatin, because fertilized egg has follistatin, non-fertilized egg has no follistatin. Just imagine, that's why I know I spoke with you on the phone and you said that you're putting on muscle unbelievable and you feel tight, because beside you getting those growth factors and those peptides, now with that rest of the whole egg, you're getting extra follistatin. The age defense capsule has follistatin, but the powder I send you has even more.
Yeah. So just for the people that are listening, then is I want to go back a little bit, and I want to go back to your what we're talking about now is you're transitioning into the protein that you sent to me. Now I want to get into that, but there's one thing I want to still go back to the age defense. Now you mentioned that the age defense can produce adult stem cells. Is that directly as a result of the fertilized egg that it can produce adult stem cells?
It helps. It not directly, indirectly, it helps you body in a bone marrow to create more adult stem cells.
Got it. Okay.
On your own. So you put your body back in a stage where you were young, you had all this growth factor in good range. So now your body is suddenly at age 60, it's functioning when you were like 20.
Yes, and I'm telling you, I can totally vouch for that. Now, something else that has happened, and you said, one of the things that was interesting when you first talked to me and were telling me about your product Age Defense, you told me, I don't want to tell you too much about what the product does because I don't want to lead you and influence you in any way. Because if you remember, especially the first month, I was calling you like every other day, and I'm saying, okay, this is what's happening now. Is that why, okay, so here's another thing that happened, and is that once I started taking Age Defense, my libido increased dramatically. Why is that? Tell the people that are watching this program.
Well, you probably had a low testosterone level, and your testicles start to produce more testosterone. Also, with aging, I didn't see any research on this yet, but I put things together. Because also, not just the testosterone, the activin, it's another very important hormone in our body, which is important for reproduction in male and female.
Yeah.
So I assume when you get old, not just testosterone, also the activin, which helps sperm production also, and keeps your testicle healthy. So by combining the growth factors helps you endocrine cortex output to start producing hormone normal level, plus your testicle start producing testosterone and activin. So that's why your libido went up so high.
And it again, it's one of those things that we're. One of the things I do know, because I'm 65 now, is that I've done a lot of research on this stuff. Because at some point this is all going to happen because of what age does to someone. And after the age of 30, which I know you know this, but for the people that don't, after the age of 30, a male starts losing 1% of his testosterone production each year. So by the time you get to 60, you're a fucking disaster if you don't take care of this stuff.
Correct. And now, see this, when I decided to do my pro debut, I was stuck into it. I didn't want to compete as a pro. But when I started using this age defense, my body was responding like in the beginning when I was like 17, 18 years old. I almost feel like I'm growing by day.
Yeah. So
I get in unbelievable shape and I say, I give a shot. And I was 42 years old, 44, which is not old yet, And if I would not be introduced to this age defense extract, I've never competed as a professional, but it's just, I say, what the heck, let's try it out.
Yeah.
And then I was competing and people, they didn't believe me. I did my first show just with the Tribistan and the age defense. And after my first show, I started fooling around with testosterone, but I never did what these guys did. I never went over 280 milligram a week and no more than 8 weeks. And after that, I just closed. I didn't shut it down cold turkey. I just came down and I was mimicking my own production would be.
Right. Yeah. Because if you do too much, it suppresses your own natural production. That's what steroids take too much of.
Now thinking back, because what I'm doing right now, I wouldn't have to even use 280 milligram test now on the way I'm thinking back, and I see the results right now at age 68 with the growth factors, and I'm just fooling around with little tiny 70 milligram test a week. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Now I want to move over to because then you told me, hey, there's this protein powder, and you told me about this thing, and I thought, Emeric, as bodybuilders, we sometimes just believe in blind faith that stuff's going to work. I never really felt protein before. I just figured it was working because our body is made of protein, but I never really felt it, to be quite honest with you. I just, it made sense to me that you should take it, for workout or after workout, whatever. But I got to tell you something, this protein that I got from you, this is what I told you. I called you. I know you remember the phone call. I said, fuck, man, I feel like I'm when I was taking the juice way back when, you get that tightness that's almost uncomfortable and you're constantly pumped.
High nitrogen retained. You train you're in a very high anabolic stage.
Oh, man.
And just imagine I know when you were young, you were doing the 36 raw eggs a day.
Yeah.
Probably they were not fertilized eggs, and not incubated. It wasn't the egg had an embryo in development already. So those eggs didn't have this growth factors yet because they were never in incubation to create an embryo. So I did send you the certificate analysis. Do you see there the high percentage of, the 80% of those natural growth factors?
Yes.
And then on top of that, you're getting tremendous amount of selenium, zinc, magnesium, calcium. It's nothing better source of full, complete protein than eggs.
Yeah. And you know something? The thing is that for those other people, because I'm one of those kind of people, and I'm not unusual in that you have a drawer full of stuff that you take. And I've been constantly over the years, I'm constantly fighting with myself because I'm trying to eliminate. I know that less is better in most cases. It's not how much you take, it's what you're taking in the right dosages. And you mentioned that. But until this protein, I'm starting to eliminate all the stuff that I've been, or not all, but a lot of the stuff that I've been taking because it's already in the product. And my goodness, the pump, I just can't believe it is what I'm continually amazed. And I'm going to tell you something. My body has turned back 10 years as far as how it's looking, how it's responding to training. It's true. Yeah.
And, also remember that I mentioned that it has naturally occurring EPO.
Yes. Why don't you explain EPO?
Can you imagine all this oxygen you cells, because our cells need oxygen.
Yeah.
More oxygen, healthier, more oxygen, less disease can, for example, cancer hates oxygen, environment.
Well, because oxygen, I think to a degree, oxygen creates your body where it becomes, it's not acidic. Because acid, your body, disease needs acid. So when you're taking the acid out because of what you're talking about, it's hard. It's virtually impossible to get sick. Is that right?
Yeah. So, exactly. And I don't use whey protein at all. If I use whey protein, it has to be raw, non-pasteurized, whole egg. Whole milk, because that in nature created exactly perfect balance. You have only 20% whey protein in the milk. Because I used whey protein a long time ago, and I had so much acidity in my body. The pH was all screwed up.
Right.
And also those whey proteins was a byproduct of the cheese. Right now some companies, they're extracting from the fresh milk the way that's, I guess, maybe a little better. But those whey proteins were so bad. I had acid reflux all the time. I mean, when I went to the bathroom, I had to wash. I was itchy, and it just was horrible. So I don't use a whey protein. I do love this because I always have an aches, but since I have this powder, it made my life simple because I don't have to have 36 raw eggs. Even I consume as much, but not anymore raw eggs. I just use 3 or 4 raw eggs each serving, then add the powder in.
Yeah.
So I add that, and because can you imagine 12 eggs? That's a lot of if you drink.
Oh yeah, I did that. Vince Gironda was known for the 36 egg diet. And I did that. I did it for about 3 months. And after a while, you can only do eggs so many ways before you almost can't stand it anymore. You can't stand looking at it, let alone eat it. And like you said, it creates a lot of bulk in your body.
Yeah, because all the water is gone from this protein has no water, so the water mass, it's eliminated. It's automatically you have the same amount of protein with less water. So you can have 36 eggs easy. It goes in a cup.
Yeah.
You add a little water and this powder, and that's it.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I've never felt protein like this. I've never felt like this. I mean, and until I was, I refer back to when I was competing, and I'm thinking, oh my God, how can this be like this? But it's true. One of the things that I want to talk about is you mentioned, we won't name any names, but you said there's a top bodybuilder out there that did a lot of egg whites. Because the misunderstanding and the misconception still, I think to this day with a lot of people, is they think that eggs are bad for your cholesterol. And as you mentioned before, it's the perfect food, right? And why don't you explain that a little bit?
Well, the egg yolk need to be kept raw, or maybe you can make like an over easy, but you don't want to over high heat destroy it and oxidate the egg yolk, because when you make a hard-boiled egg and you clean it has a green color on, it's all oxidation. It's all oxidation. So by cooking the egg, you able to keep the minerals, but all those wonderful vitamins, it will be all destroyed.
Yeah.
So, and people see, when people they say I'm allergic, I can't eat egg. If that for that person you give only the yolk, has no problem. The egg white cause the allergies mostly.
Is that right? And
so anybody has I can't eat eggs, don't eat the yolk. Don't eat the whites.
Right.
They will be fine.
It's actually counterintuitive to what you hear out there, because they always say that fat is a culprit. And one of the things I know that's not true, because Mario Di Pasquale, I know you know him. Mario was staying on the high-fat diet. He said one of the big misconceptions is that people think that fat is the culprit, and it's not fat. It's actually carbohydrate that causes more of the problem. It's not fat. And in fact, he said if you want somebody to lower their cholesterol, put them on a high-fat diet. And he was right. Every time I put somebody on a high-fat diet, they drop 50 to 75 points.
It's only one thing. Whatever fat you're eating, like olive oil, people said, I cook in olive oil, I find olive oil. Once you get to the temperature where it's so hot and fries, entire molecules, they change. Same thing like the oil in a car.
Is that right?
With too much heat. So olive oil is fantastic. It's unbelievable. What you do, you have your pasta, boil your pasta, then after that add olive oil on the top. On salads, it's really good. But people say, I cook in olive oil. That doesn't mean nothing. Once you heat up the temperature, you change the carbon molecules totally.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, because I remember one of the big things, a selling point, these companies that sold protein way back when, they said that the product was, the technology they used was cold press versus the temperature, because based on what you're talking about. Now, in this product, this protein that I'm taking now, which is amazing, is it done with the cold press technology, or how's it done?
Yes, it's with cold air. And that's why, I told you that I'm not going to make this available to the public. I will supply you, because with this product, I'm making a special product for people with sickle cell anemia.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I would say this.
they need this product because what it does is it produces oxygen, right? And they don't do that when they have sickle cell anemia. They have to carry a tank around, right?
Yeah, and helps in a bone marrow, the red blood production. And I don't have a proof, and I don't want to tell anybody that this cures or prevent. But longest you take this supplement, your body able to handle stress, able to regenerate, recover, and repair. Long as you take this product. Now, once you discontinue, of course, you're going to start after a while feeling again old.
Sure. Yeah. Let's talk about, expand on, you mentioned follistatin. And for those people that don't know, what follistatin does is it suppresses what's known as myostatin, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And why don't you tell us why that's important? Let's take a quick pause to tell you about something you are definitely going to want.
Do you want a bone-crushing grip? Good, because you're gonna get one with the amazing new TRS Gripper. It's a progressive grip builder with longer handles and a special ergonomic design that's like a dozen hand grippers in one. Start off easy and work your way up to quickly build your grip strength from wet noodle to pulverizing. The package includes a video from the world-famous strength coach, Dr. Russ Horine, the man who worked with Leo Costa to help bring you big beyond belief in the Bulgarian power burst. Dr. Horine shows you a simple and easy to follow workout plan that takes just minutes a day right from in front of your TV set if you want. So click on the link below and let's get started building you a stronger, firmer, bone-crushing grip.
Okay, so some people genetically, they have less myostatin levels than others. For example, when Victor Kante at Balco Laboratory tested 26 pro bodybuilders for myostatin, Rich Gaspari and Flex Wheeler was the two guys. Out of all those guys, they had lower myostatin level than average population. So that made sense why Flex was able to get in shape really quick, and he didn't know to that point, and I don't know how much Flex know about his genetically gifted happened to him. That genetically, you have to be happy this happened, and probably he didn't know when he started bodybuilding what's even follistatin and myostatin. But just imagine if he would start his from young age knowing all this stuff, he wouldn't have to use that much steroid. And I don't know how much contributed using steroids, losing his leg. I'm not sure. I'm not going to try to speculate on that. But if you're able to slightly downregulate your myostatin, you're able to put muscle on easier, or older people, they slow down muscle waste. Now, just imagine you're an old person and you're losing muscle over and over and over, and suddenly you have something, it slows down. You're going to still have some muscles, but you're going to slow down. Now, suddenly, you're 70 years old, you take this product and you start exercising. Suddenly you say, oh, no more muscle waste, I'm putting muscle back. That's a wonderful, you can be 80 years old and never worked out before, and somehow somebody tells, hey, listen, try this supplement, how you feel with your aches and pains, and suddenly say, you know what, I'm able to walk now stairs. And they say, okay, once you had a couple of dumbbells and do exercise, and suddenly said, oh, my leg gets stronger, I put muscle on. So that's why people, when they get older, the muscle waste, because also this follistatin, which our body has follistatin, this also diminishing. So I don't see any research on that. I just put things together on my own, on what I do on my own body, and experimenting it, and just put common sense together. And I read as much as possible, have information. But that, in my opinion, beside these growth factors, also follistatin is declining in your body when you get older.
Yeah. Now let me ask
And
you this, because
maybe the muscle mass.
let me ask you this: myostatin. What its purpose is, and again, let me know if I can. Myostatin is
It's how much muscle you carry.
right. But what I'm saying is, it's the natural. It's sort of a balance for you not to put on muscle too fast. Isn't that right? It's an antagonist to muscle not being put on too fast, right?
Yeah. Also, if you knock out myostatin totally, it's not good. It's not good. Do you see those the bull and the pit bull dog? They knocked out totally with all exercise. You put muscle, but you die very young. So those they don't have life, you know.
Yeah.
So I know some people, they would like to knock it out totally because they're young and they think, you know what, I don't care. I want to be Mr. Olympia. I don't care if I die. But once that problem comes, they get scared.
Yeah. So how do you know how much myostatin to use? I mean, I'm sure you, like you said, you've tested it over the years and stuff, but how does one know how much to use or the proper?
I never tested myself, but because this is a natural source, it's not something you try to knock out totally.
Yeah.
It just supplies you enough, and your body takes enough what normally you should carry muscle. So when you get older, like I said, you lose muscle because less follistatin. So when you take this, it's not going to have your body store so much follistatin that you have no myostatin.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Now, I only know one thing, that, you know, when Ronnie Coleman was taking this for 9 years, he was tested for his myostatin at Balco. A couple of years later, did another test, and his myostatin level was lower. And they were thinking that he's taking something for that. He wasn't taking anything. In my opinion, this age defense, it helped him slightly down-regulate, not like it's non-existing, but was lower.
Yeah.
You know, lower.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what, one of the things that you know and I know, just because we've been around a long time, is muscle does have memory.
Yes.
And it'll come back if you did nothing else but get into the gym and be consistent. Because on the flip side of that, I mean, you can take this age defense and you can take the protein powder, but you'll get a much bigger effect if you add consistent exercise to the equation. Correct?
Correct. And it's very important to have not just cardio like walking. It's also very important resisting. Exercise with weights, you know, or you can use bands, as long as, you know, you put overload on your muscles. You have to be overloaded. So as long as you do that, and with a good nutrition. Now, like I said, these growth factors are not available. Just a second.
Okay.
Oh, it's just my dog went out.
Okay.
You know, these growth factors, which are in the age defense, it's not existing anywhere. These growth factors, you're not going to have them from lettuce, from fruits. These growth factors are only available on development of an embryo.
Okay.
Because without these growth factors, the embryo would never develop. The chicken would never have nerves, spleen, liver, vascular system, eye, retina, nothing. So, excuse me, I'm on. My wife just came home.
Okay, no problem.
No, don't worry.
Tell her I said hello.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, so all right. Now, I want to ask you one thing. I heard this from somebody that you've talked to recently. You know Joe Breen? He talks to you on probably text or email, and he's a big fan of yours, Joe Breen. And
yes.
he said that you had a product, and I think that you may have told me this too. Now, this is with regard to how this product could possibly help people that are trying to keep from getting COVID. He said that you have a product that will keep people from getting COVID. Is that correct or not?
I wouldn't say it prevent, but I would say maybe misunderstood me. It boosts immune system. So this has It's nothing to do with the COVID. It's not going to start the COVID.
Okay.
But you build your immune system so strong, so your self-defense mechanism, it's in a full power, like a 4 or 5 years old kid.
Yeah.
That's why those kids, they're not getting affected.
Yeah.
Just imagine, imagine, like I said, when we get older, our growth factors diminishing and we get weaker.
Yeah.
Now, when we're younger, we have more of these growth factors. So that's why young kids, they are resisting more for these bacteria and infections. Of course, hopefully the parents, they feeding the kids with a good diet, not on peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Right.
So they have some good nutrients in the diet. So what I have, it helps immune system in a sense that contains natural ionic zinc, natural occurring host defense peptides, cationic peptides, and the oxygen, what's created in the body. So basically, you take the product and it boosts your immune system, so your immune system would resist.
Right.
So not the capsule. The capsule is just gives the material for your immune system to be very strong, to have all the weapons to defend himself.
Okay. Now, is that a product that are you currently selling that as a?
Yeah, that product originally was created for the good bacteria in the colon and eliminate heavy metals from the body.
Mm-hmm.
So that has the age defense also in, and I use one of the best, or the best fulvic acid from Hungary,
mm-hmm.
which has 1,000 milligram of ionic zinc in 1 kilo. Now, the other fulvic acid in the market, well known and pushed by many companies, is coming from the Himalayan. It's not underground, it's overground source, and it's called Silajit.
Okay.
Silajit. And that has in 1 kilo has only 36 milligram of ionic zinc. So zinc is very important in our immune system.
Yes.
So, and also beside this has other 98 ionic minerals. But what this also does, this fulvic acid creates a coating around the healthy cells and enhance other minerals to be converted in ionic form very quick. Because you take the minerals over the counter, they're not ionic.
Okay, so they're not synergistic or compatible necessarily with your body like they should be. Is that what you mean?
Yes, and so your body has to turn them in, convert them in ionic.
Got it.
Ionic is only in nature. Any fruit, veggies you eat, the minerals all ionics.
Got it.
So this fulvic acid are extracted from plants. They were decomposed more than 5 million years ago. Wow. When maybe the dinosaurs, they were roaming. So this extract they're using also in agriculture, because you make like a fertilizer for the plants, because the soil is so weak from this ionic minerals. All the fruits we're eating lately, they're not as rich as used to be 200-300 years ago.
Right.
So by extracting this on the ground and make like a fertilizer, natural, and fertilize the plant, the tomatoes have it. Now suddenly it's rich in ionic minerals, and of course they have a better taste, and it's just overall more antioxidants.
Yeah, let me ask you this. For somebody like myself who now is taking age defense, and I'm taking the protein, which has growth factors and some of these things that you're talking about in this product, would it benefit me to also add that to this regimen that I'm on, for example? And
yes,
would.
Yes, would, especially if you eating not all the time organic product, because helps to eliminate heavy metals or the glyphosate. I probably not pronouncing correctly. Glyphosate, GLP. That chemicals they use in plants. like a pesticides for prevent bugs, etc. So most you buy in the store, they are loaded. So that is very harmful. This weak immune system also affects the good bacteria colony in your colon. Because 80% of our immune system depending on our colon.
Gotcha.
So the product what I made is what does, it improves also the millions and millions and billions good bacteria in the colon, and that's part also the immune system. So now you have a product where it's not just supplies you the growth factor to keep cell communication, also you have something that gets rid of all the toxin, heavy metals from your bloodstream and takes care of the bad bacteria in the colon. Because when you have overwhelmed bacteria in the colon, it escapes, comes back to the small intestine and creates leaky gut. So once it's back in the colon, also shortening the villi, which is important because that takes all the nutrients from the small intestine to the bloodstream. So the villi, it's almost like fingers, and longer as your finger, like the villi, more nutrients can be absorbed, and automatically, on the same amount of nutrition I eat and somebody else with a short villi, I have more energy conversion on the same amount of food than the other person with a really short villi.
Interesting.
And short villi can be affected by people taking antibiotics, other medications, too much artificial sweeteners, this all can affect your good bacteria.
So this product not only works with what I'm taking, but it also sounds like it's a standalone product as well. You could take it just, if people didn't want to take protein for whatever, for whatever reason, they could take this product by itself and it'd be productive for them.
I have a pilot study conducted by Eric Serrano. You know him.
Yes.
In Ohio. So he did a pilot study with this product I call MMB 750. So it's abbreviation for micromolecular biotics. And I get 750 number because the total ingredient is 750 milligrams. So I did a pilot study on Crohn, colitis, leaky gut. After 30 days, they were back normal.
Wow, that's significant. That's major.
Now, in a situation where you live healthy, I would suggest only one capsule evening. The reason evening, because it makes you, in about 12 hours, it makes you really clean your colon. Whatever you eat the day before will all come out.
I'll be done.
And in some cases, because the colon can hold up to over 20 pounds of waste.
Is that right?
The wall of the colon, like Elvis Presley, when they did autopsy, he held over 40 pounds of toxin on his colon.
Oh man!
So these toxins they sitting on your wall of your colon. So when you take my product slowly, start to eliminate that slowly. So in the beginning, people they go to the bathroom and stinks because a lot of junk comes out.
Yeah.
But after a while, they become normal, and then some people they said, "Oh, I lost 10 pounds." I said, "Probably that was all waste in your colon."
Yeah, no kidding. Wow, that's incredible.
Because these bodybuilders, they're walking around 300 pounds, etc. I bet you they have about 30 pounds waste sitting on their colon.
Well, I can tell you. So I can tell you what.
That makes sense. They have the sticking belly because can you imagine the colon? The colon normally the waste. It's like a balloon,
Yeah.
You blow a balloon and you blow it only gives the normal size. And now you put more air in the balloon, comes big. So that happens in the colon. That waste sitting there, it's like you're blowing the balloon over size and sticking out.
Yeah.
So not just the drugs, because what they do, they're force feeding themselves because they're taking insulin and need to have carbohydrates, carbs and carbs, like Pascal said, carbohydrate is your enemy.
Yeah, and you know what?
We need carbohydrate, of course, but not. These people are 10,000 calories a day.
Oh yeah, your body, as you know, it can only store and use so much carbohydrate before it has to store it as a triglyceride. That's just what it has to do to keep you somewhat healthy, and that's the reason why the sport, especially, in that sport, because everything is so extreme, That's why people have so many problems sometimes, just because of how extreme everything is.
Yeah. Well, people didn't understand. Once you liver and muscle restores the carbohydrate needed, anything excess, it goes wrong places.
Yeah.
Like even you have a good carbohydrates, but you eat too much, your body converts them over sugar and going to end up in a colon. So what you're going to do, you're going to feed the bad bacteria.
Yeah, that's right. It poisons you almost in a way.
So that insulin, they must take sugar, otherwise they get in coma. Yeah.
Right.
So they have all the sugar coming over and over and over. So your body, what does, is just depositing as trash in your colon.
Right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up real quick, but I wanted to ask you, this product that you're talking about, does it have a name, and does it come in powder form or tablet?
It comes in capsule. I'm going to send you a bottle.
Okay.
Maybe today, if not tomorrow, and try it out. So okay. I'm not going to say too much stuff. I want you to share with me what you notice.
Okay, and now do you sell this commercially? I know the protein that I'm taking, you're just making it for...
No, I supply a couple of gastrointestinal specialists with this.
Okay.
And I don't have a website. So I have people, they know me personally, they calling, and it's that's how I'm selling it. Okay,
fair enough. Well, listen, Emeric, unbelievable stuff. I mean, this is why I wanted to have you back on again. But let's wrap this up for today. And I want to tell you, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate one of the things I've really loved about the relationship that we have, and I'm sure that you deal with everybody else the same way. You've always taken time out to explain things to me. It's important for somebody like me to try to understand everything, and you've been very gracious with your time, and I do appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. I'm almost excited, and I'm happy if I'm able to help somebody out.
Yeah.
And I've been reaching out for the sickle cell anemia community, and in some places I even offer I don't want to charge anything because they have no money. But it's just very hard. So
yeah. Well, I'm going to wrap this up by saying again, thank you. Let's do this again sometime because there's a lot more I know that we can talk about.
Sure.
And I guess onward and upward. We're both going to be in the gym until they're going to have to carry us out feet first, I believe, because this is so ingrained in our system. So it's always nice to be able to keep improving, even though we're becoming a little older.
I just want to mention that last time we see each other on protest, your skin is glowing more.
It is. It's a damn truth. It's true. I've had people comment on that.
Is glowing. Is anybody else told you?
Yeah, I've had several people have told me I look different.
Yeah, you glow. Yeah.
Hey, baby, I'll live my life. If I keep taking this stuff, am I going to look really, really young to the point where, 29 years of? I don't want to be that old again. Hell with that. I don't need that. I like being this age and feeling this good. That's the key right there.
So your range of motion is much better?
Way better. My range of motion, my recovery, my body's responding. I just, I know sometimes that, people say, I can't believe what's going on. I've turned the clock back 10 years, but I've got to tell you something. It's a damn truth. And I'm shocked. And I'm a big skeptic. I tell people right off the bat when they're trying to sell me or talk to me about something, I let them know I'm very skeptical by nature. So when something works, I know when it works, and this stuff is the real deal, man. You're producing stuff that's awesome. I appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Very welcome.
All right, Emeric, then until next time, okay?
Okay. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Serious Growth Podcast. For more episodes like the one you just listened to, subscribe to us on your mobile podcast app and leave us a review. If you'd like to reach out, you can find us online at seriousgrowth.com. Until next time, train smart and train hard.